Good morning, everybody. Charlie here with Red Summit RF. Today it is sunrise on top of North Mountain, and I have with me today the CFT1. It's a new 5-band transceiver that is out and released the same day I'm releasing this video. I'll give you more information about it after, as far as where to purchase it, at the end of this video, and also down in the links in the description. But this transceiver, I've had it on multiple activations, probably 10-15 activations. It comes as a kit. So what I'm going to do on this video is something a little different. I'm going to take you guys on over to the bench first, and I'm going to show you some of the process I went through to build this kit, this transceiver. It also comes already assembled, by the way. And then after that, I'm going to move on over to one of the activations that I did with this transceiver, show you a little bit about the operation. I really enjoyed this radio, and I'm glad to introduce it to you. So let's get on over to the bench, and I will tell you more. Okay, folks, we're at the bench. So this is the CFT1. This is the new open and released version. This is my beta version that I built. So Jonathan, KM4 CFT, announced this radio at 4 Days in May when I was there. And while I was there, he asked me to be a beta tester, and so I happily agreed. He also invited several others, or 8 other hams, including Thomas, K4SWL, and Joshua, N5FY, and Ara, and 6ARA, who are good friends of mine. And also in that group is Evan, K2EJT, which a lot of you know, and Radio Dan, W7RF, and Nick, W0NY, and Zach, KM4BLG, and Dave, W8XAL. So all of those guys you probably know. We all are POTA and SOTA operators, and so we all participated in this beta test. The release date is Monday, August 12th on this kit, on the kit form. It's $350, and so I know in the preview of my video I said that this video would be released on the review date, but I waited to get the new radio that I ordered. So they do come fully assembled, and that's what this one is. And so they're going to be sold both as a kit for $350, and then I'm not quite sure how much the version that is already built for you will cost. But Jonathan said he's going to try to make them in batches once a week, and we'll release the batches like every Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I guess that's the way to look for them. If you want one and he doesn't have one, wait a week, the following Thursday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So Jonathan sells also a bunch of other things. For example, he sells a Morse code paddle. I have one here. It's in this tray. You can 3D print this tray. I'll put the link to this enclosure so that you can print it if you want it. He doesn't sell the actual printer, the printed enclosure, but here it is. And so this is my paddle that I have. I'm going to do a review on this later. Right now I'm just doing a field test on it, and I've had it out quite a bit. It's a good paddle, but I will do a separate video on this Morse code paddle so that you can have more details about it. And he also sells a NFET half wave, which I do not have, an antenna. The cover right here is made by one of the beta testers, Joshua, N5FY from Tuflin. And so I'm going to pull this off. You can see it's a good little cover here to do. And what's great about it is you can use it as a stand. And you can see the other. I have one on this one right now already, and it's already on the stand. And we'll put the link for Joshua's website down below so that you can order one of these covers if it is something that you want to do. It's kind of magnetic and fits right over the top here, and you can, yeah, pretty good. There we go. So I was one of 3 beta testers who opted to build this kit. I guess I was number 5 in the beta group. And so we're going to break this radio down and show you how, the insides of it a little bit, and I'll explain what I went through to build this. Okay, let's break this down. So here's the first 3D printed section that I'm going to slide off. This is actually connected right here. Actually, no, right here. is connected. I wonder if I can squeeze that off. There we go. So see these pins here, they go in here, and that's how this is the control board. This is how the control board is connected. And right here are the pins that you use to do a firmware update. There are very few firmware updates that should take place, if any, at this point. But if in the event that you do have to do a firmware update, which is again very unlikely, you would use these pins right here. This middle one right here connects the heatsink. And we're left with the RF board. So as I mentioned, it comes basically with two boards. This is the control board, this is the RF board, and they are sandwiched between some 3D printed sections. And as far as putting the RF board together, you can see there are a few toroids here that you need to wind. There's some capacitors and some crystals here. So it's all through hole, big parts. The rest of it is SMD already on the board. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toroids and several of the other items, and that's the RF board. Then for the control board, you have to solder these here and connect all these. So there's a few things on this one on both sides of this board as well. Nothing too difficult. So doing soldering both of these boards and reassembling and assembling it and doing everything, really it didn't take long at all. The instructions that were provided by Jonathan were extremely easy to follow and very detailed. And I think this build is easier than the QRP lab kits to build. So the one thing I will mention is that the beta version does not come with the transmit light. So right over here you can see this purchased version has a transmit light, and the beta version did not have that. Also, the beta version doesn't have the ability to adjust the side tone. On the bottom of the board, on the bottom of the RF board here would be a pot to do that, and it would be right here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but that was added afterwards. So in order to adjust the side tone volume, you need to take the bottom plate off and then adjust a trimmer pot. This radio was designed with SOTA and POTA in mind, with a SOTA operator and a POTA operator in mind. Anybody who enjoys QRP field operations, this is the radio for you, or at any rate, this is a radio that was designed for that type of use. So on the side here, we have this is the battery jack, or the power jack, and you can see here 8 to 14 volts, which is really nice. You can use any power source between 8 and 14 volts. Of course, we have right here the audio jack, and you can put earbuds in here or a speaker. The paddle is right here. And on this side we have the BNC connector for the antenna, and then here's the on and off switch right here. And so we'll power this on in just a minute. The volume, of course, and then over here we have a tune. So the short press adjusts the rate, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. And then the long press we'll switch it over to RIT, R-I-T. And then these are the single press memories right here, these 4 buttons. And you can program those. I'll show you that in a minute. And when you push it, then it sends what the message that you've put in there. And if you push and hold it, then it sends it on a continuous basis, whatever you want, and you can set that as well. So let's go ahead and work through the bands here and show you all that. Let's get this powered up. It does come with a barrel connector, and then I put a Anderson power pole on the end here. I'm going to plug that into my bench. and then I will turn on, I don't know, I'll put it at like 12 or 13 volts or something like that. Okay, so the knob here, you can see that there's a line under the 7, and that allows me to adjust at that level. If you want finer adjustment, you just push this button and the line will go to which of the, however fine you want the adjustment, all the way up to the 0 up here. I like to keep it right here, and then of course when you turn the knob it'll adjust for you. I was operating a Summits on the Air activation earlier this morning, and I was on the novice band because I think there was a CWT going on or something. Couldn't find a spot down lower. But at any rate, so this right here is the band button, and it'll cycle you through each of the 5 bands that this radio has, which is nice. Let's go to the menu, and in the menu it automatically defaults to the CW speed. And in fact, if you want to adjust it, you just click the push 1 button on there, and you can just leave it right here and operate from this position, and then easily adjust the words per minute. Next thing, I'm going to tap that again. Next menu item is the keyer mode. You can do iambic, and then there's also some of the other modes. You've got, let's see here, I'll just push that. You've got iambic B, straight mono, and straight stereo, and then iambic A. So any of those will work. Next is the pitch of the CW tone, which is nice. Then you have the paddle direction, normal or reversed. And then here are the messages I had put in for each of these buttons right here. So if I push N1 right here, then this message will send. And then this is message 2, message 3, and message 4. So that's that, and then there's the beacon interval. So if you, like say for example, I want to send this message 1, once, then I push the M1 once. But if I want to send it on a recurring basis, then I push it and hold it, and then it goes into beacon mode. And when it does, then you can adjust what the interval is between each time it sends. That's nice. And then how many times before it times out. Also, you can turn the backlighting on or off, and then there's the calibration menu. So that's it as far as the menus go. Also, I'd like to mention that it does have within it a 350 hertz crystal filter, which is nice. And it also, one thing you might want to know about is, let me go out of this menu here. So you're operating here. Let's just say you dial down to. Let me actually do this. Let's say you're operating here. You know this is outside the band privileges for amateur radio. Well, if you do right here, then it just automatically goes into a practice keyer. And if your VFO is tuned outside the amateur radio privileges, it just becomes a practice keyer. So you still send, and it's safe and everything. Last thing, couple things is there's an AGC in here, which is nice, automatic gain control. On all of the activations I've done, I've probably done 10, 15 with this radio. I would say once or twice the automatic gain control didn't quite catch up in time, but that was just probably a rare thing. Also, it has an XIT in it, which is nice. The RIT and the XIT are both nice, and so that's it. Don't expect the following, like the built-in tuner, the built-in battery or SWR meter in this, because at this price range you don't think you find any that have all those. But anyway, I'd like to compliment Jonathan for a fine job here. I really appreciate, Jonathan, that you allowed me to be a part of the beta team, and I really appreciate the friendship and the trust that you put in this. And so I will now, guys, go over and show you the activation. Okay, so here is Chris, N1CLC on the left, and my wife, Sandy, W7NRS on the right. We're going to do an activation together up on the top of Wahl Knoll. there's the CFT1 transceiver on my lap with the Bamatech TP2 paddle, and I prefer a homebrewed dipole for the antenna. Okay folks, that's it. The CFT1 transceiver. It is a great radio. I really enjoyed putting it together as a kit. I also enjoyed operating a SOTA with it, and it is exactly my kind of radio. I really recommend it. I hope that you guys enjoy it, those of you who purchase it, and I know you won't regret it. So with that, I will say 73, catch you on the next one, and adios.